welcome to the Party Dungeon. This is Dungeon Party, and we're here. This is a new campaign. Woo! As always, I'm Blake, and here is your Campaign 2 cast. We can introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
You look like I have you at gunpoint.
I'm Chelsea! Sorry, I've never performed before.
Oh, never, yeah.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
Nice.
I'm Phoenix.
Casual.
Hi, I'm Peter.
Hi, I'm Winfield, host of the world-famous Sandler Experiment podcast.
No escaping this.
I'm at gunpoint.
Are you okay? Is it a cry or a laugh? I can't tell.
Michael.
Alright, well that's the energy of this campaign, just so you guys know.
Is there a gas leak in here?
There might be, I don't know. You might notice that we're in a whole new place. We're no longer in my college dorm room where I slept under the table we played on, because we've all graduated from college, some of us earlier than others. I was looking at my college. Now we're here in an undisclosed location, and we're playing D&D. Before we get going on this new campaign, a shout out to our one Patreon patron, Elliot. You're the bomb.com. You have stuck with us through the longest hiatus of all time, and I love you. I hope you like this, Elliot, and anybody else watching this. Yeah, maybe Scott. And if you do, show it to your friends. This is a perfect chance to jump into the Dungeon Party fun because it's all new, no knowledge needed from the old one. Okay. Cool. Anybody have anything to say before we jump into this?
Can we assume we've already cast Find Familiar?
What?
Find Familiar.
Sure.
Already
Yeah.
cast it?
You
No,
could
no.
have already cast it. How do I do this? I don't remember. Yes, English.
For apparently if other people have it too.
Yeah, you ritual spells all cast. Cool. Well then, I guess let's jump into this campaign of Dungeon Party.
Is this something else, or are you making a character sheet right now?
it's my list of things I know how to say.
Okay, because I am making a character sheet right now.
Yep.
Oh. The intrigue.
Cool. So, our story begins where many great stories end. In a graveyard, where a group of relative strangers stand before open graves, dug especially for them. In the center of this graveyard, above a hastily constructed altar, a minotaur with one horn raises a large rusty shovel above his head. On the altar lies a woman, bloody and battered, her once impressive cloak now soiled and tarnished. Looking at the strangers with empty eyes, a look of fear flashes across her otherwise empty face. The hammer comes down, a spurt of blood sprays out, and the Kenku wakes up in bed. Winfield, want to describe yourself?
Yeah. So, I am a Kenku. My name is Kuresu, but I mainly go by either boy or bird because I can only speak things that I've heard personally, and that's what a lot of people just call me. What else? What else do you want from me?
Anything you want, yeah.
I'm like raven-headed, I guess, and I'm just like wearing tattered clothing.
Cool. You awake with the start from that horrifying dream, one that felt all too real. And you remember that you last night checked into the Feathers Down, a small inn in a southern Nildorian town of Bizzleben. And for those of you guys curious, wow, got a map. You're basically here right now. You're not going to be able to see that on the camera, but that's okay. I'll put up something because I'm an editing god. You checked into this inn because you are now on the outskirts of vampire territory. For the last three and some change years, a vampire war civil war has been raging in the south of Nildor. So it's not often safe to be out alone at night. But you wake up in the dim, late fall morning.
Very moody.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'm just gonna, brush that dream off. Sort of get dressed and head out for the day.
Cool. So you strap on your armor and your scimitars very gingerly and make your way downstairs into sort of the main area of the inn. As you look around, you notice there are other people in this inn. You can see the innkeep, a portly human man with a big, unruly beard who introduced himself to you as Greg last night. 2 G's, he made sure to specify. Is serving breakfast to patrons of the inn. These patrons include a human man looking like he hasn't slept, perhaps because of a strange and unnerving dream. Michael, would you like to describe yourself?
Okay, my name is Nathaniel. I am a late 30s, early 40s human man. I'm wearing splint armor. I have a battle axe and a shield. On the shield is a symbol of a fist holding a lightning bolt. Brown hair, graying at the temples and all around there, you know what I mean? And he's a little worse for wear.
Other patrons include 2 dwarves who still look drunk from reveling the night before, being swindled poorly out of their money by a purple tiefling boy who also hasn't slept very well, perhaps because of a weird coincidental dream.
Yeah, but I'm shaking it off. So, you see a purple tiefling boy with little devil horns. His name's Finn, and he's playing a little game of cups, trying to doing the which cup is the ball under, and he's doing amazing.
Yeah.
Am I doing amazing?
If these dwarves weren't as drunk as they are, you probably would have been thrown out of the bar just because you're missing moves all over the place. This isn't like you, but you had a fucking awful dream last night. It was a graveyard and somebody died. It was awful.
It's fine.
Other than these people, there is a minotaur with 1 horn sitting at the bar. This is the sight that awaits you as you go down. As you come down, the innkeep comes over as big burly human. Could I interest you in some breakfast, Master Kenku?
Okay. Since I mainly have to talk through gestures, I'm going to just sort of gesture no and then inquisitively point at the Minotaur, sort of raising one bird eyebrow skeptically.
Urgon? Oh, he's the gravekeeper around these parts. Works in the cemetery, in the graveyard. He's been having a bit of a rough life lately because of those grave robberies going on. But I insist. You paid for a room and board, let me feed you. There's plenty of tables around.
Alright, I'm going to scout out for an empty table and take a seat.
Easy enough to find. It's not a huge inn, but there are round tables sort of interspersed around it. There are holes sort of in the walls and the shutters that are letting in a bit of a chill morning air. It's not cold per se out. We're still in sort of like the lukewarm fall weather, but it's early morning, and also the area just seems to be slightly colder than anywhere you've been before. As you go to find the table, an exhausted-looking individual sort of stumbles through the door. If you want to describe yourself.
Stumbling through the door, you see a drow with dark skin, blue eyes, and long white hair. He's wearing what used to be a very nice vest and a nice shirt underneath, but now it's a little worse for the wear, a little torn up. He has nice pants, and he stumbles in sort of from the sun. It hurts. He looks tired. He looks awful.
Can I help you, traveler?
Oh, just a room, please. Some rest.
And he sort of suspiciously is eyeing you. Nothing. Customer's always right. Room for the night or for the day?
Just a nap, maybe a few hours.
Well, I have 2 rooms available, so...
Right, how much?
10 gold.
Okay, how about 1 hour for 1 gold?
Persuasion check.
Ooh, natural 17.
All right,
Seems like 23.
All right, yeah, fine. But I better find it the way I left it when you're done. And he sort of like gingerly hands the key out to you. And he walks back over. You were charged 3 gold for the room, by the way.
Okay.
At this point, the 2 dwarves have just fucking totally passed out. And Greg walks over and says, "All right, are you done making money off of Ogre and Boger here?"
Yeah.
Do you have how much money do I make?
You made like 3 gold. They weren't particularly rich. It was mostly in silver and copper.
Sweet. Oh yeah. It's fine.
All right. Well, if you want breakfast, you can buy it. And if you don't,
I'm good.
all right.
I pull out my little mouse, and I'm just like, "Good job, buddy."
Is it?
No. Oh wait. After he left. I wait for him to leave.
He sort of walks away and he like eyes the gold coin and bites it as though he doesn't trust it. At this point, 2 figures sort of enter into the bar. One of them, Peter, you can describe yourself.
You see in front of you a high elf, the most stereotypical looking wizard, big hat, big robes over leather armor, which is weird.
And the individual walking with him is a tall, dark-skinned man in a blue sort of trench coat with a blue corner hat with 3 feathers, a red, white, and a yellow feather sticking out of it. And as he walks in, they seem to be in mid-conversation. He says, "All right, now, I'm going to leave you here. I've got some investigation to do a little south of here. Don't get into any trouble, because if you do, your mom's going to turn me into a pig and then sell me for bacon. All right?
Of course, I'll keep a low profile.
And I'll make sure to talk to somebody about that dream you had last night.
Thank you.
Don't get in trouble. I
Low
swear.
profile, I understand.
I mean it this time."
No, really.
And he just sort of tips his hat at you and says, "An eye on you," and walks out.
Is he gone?
Yeah, he's
I'm
gone.
gonna turn and walk into the bar, and as I'm walking in, I want to cast minor illusion near people with sounds of voices going, "Oh my god, is that who I think it is? Is that Thubius Amaz?" Just immediately and if anyone looks, I don't know if they do.
Oh, I immediately
just like waving, just like immediately announcing my presence.
Sure, yeah, the Minotaur sort of looks over at you and then looks back at your drink. You all recognize this Minotaur. Every one of you recognizes it from your dream last night.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Nathaniel just quietly at his table staring at him, waiting for something to happen.
Something's happening.
Yeah, no, I'll head up to the bar and just sit down next to Minotaur and just zero he's at the bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just zero any connection. Just sit next to him. Barkeep.
Yes. Hello.
What do you have to drink around here?
What sort of are you looking for? Like an alcoholic or a non-alcoholic beverage in the morning?
Ooh, it is the morning, isn't it? An alcoholic beverage.
All right. Well, we've got several types of ale. We just got a new stock of this really nice Carleonin ale. It's Wolf's Tooth Ale.
Oh, fuck you. Sure, sounds great.
2 copper. He sort of slides you over a big old mug of dark liquid.
I'll drink it.
It's fucking it's shit.
Oh.
You know what it
It
is.
tastes great. He doesn't have a refined palate like the other one.
Anybody else doing anything? The breakfast is served to you. You notice that he has taken the eggs that other people got off of your plate, and he's instead just given you sort of like haggis.
Yeah, I guess I'm grateful for that. I'm just sort of picking at it and keeping my eye on the Minotaur.
I'm gonna come back downstairs.
Sure.
And I go sort of to the edge of the bar, sort of away from the Minotaur.
Sure.
Mr. Barkeep, could you come here a moment?
Yep.
Look, I barely made it into my room when I realized I made a grave mistake. I don't have any gold on me, and what I handed you was actually a silver. I'm sorry.
What?
It is. Sorry. Here's the key back. I'll find somewhere else to sleep. Keep the silver, please. But, you know, I think now a favor might be in order.
Make a deception check.
15.
Am I close enough to see this
Yeah.
going down?
Yeah. He goes,
I actually
thank you.
thought I had gold, so sorry about that.
What?
I thought I had gold, so sorry about that. I only have 5 silver.
Oh, so you actually only did give him the silver. Okay.
It was actually an
I don't know if this is
accident.
rumors.
Yeah.
And he goes, sorry to, well, I guess I owe you a favor.
Well, I just want to know, who is that Minotaur? Over
It's a
there.
popular one today that's Oregon. He's the gravekeeper.
What? He's just the,
He
the
runs
the
the-
gravekeeper?
Well, yeah, he makes sure the graveyard out west of town stays, you know.
Do you know him well?
Yeah, he comes in most mornings
Ah,
to get a drink before he goes to sleep for the day.
and then he works during the night?
Yes.
Isn't the night dangerous?
He just sort of points over at this like rippled, muscle-clad dude. He
Ah.
can handle himself.
Right. Is he nice?
I mean, it'd be hard to get more than 2 words out of him at any given time, even when he's plastered. he's quiet. I guess makes sense when you mostly work with the dead.
Yes, it does smell like something died in here, yes. How much for the ale?
2 copper for Wolf's Tooth,
I'll take 2.
right?
Here's another silver.
Gives you change.
What is the silver copper
Huh?
change?
10.
10?
Yeah. And he sort of slides you over to.
I'm gonna slide on over to the Minotaur.
Am I on the other
Sort
side
of.
of it?
Yeah, you are now flanking the Minotaur.
Oh, am
I'm
I
getting
interrupting something?
Closer to watch
Oh,
this.
no, I was just enjoying a drink.
Ah, well, here's one for our Minotaur friend. Say, don't I know you?
He looks back and forth at you, grabs the tankard he was drinking from. The other tankard says, "I'll bring him back." Stands up and just turns and leaves.
When he gets to
Alright,
rape, I get up and start like covertly following, like not like right behind him, but like I wait for a little bit. And
Like out, wait for him to leave the inn.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, did I interrupt your conversation?
Oh, he wasn't much of a talker. Did you know him? A friend of yours?
Something like that.
I see.
You?
I think I've seen him around.
Ah, okay.
Your name?
Oh, my name is Elril.
Thuvius.
Pleasure.
It's the most Listen, I didn't name this character, alright?
It's your character.
I told you how this character
Yeah,
got
that's
made.
true.
Have I seen the Kenku?
Yeah.
yet? Okay.
Yeah. You.
So-
It's the 5 of you and
Okay,
the
cool.
barkeep
So
currently
I
in the
was
bar.
starting to go towards this conversation, and then I heard Thuvius and kept walking to the Kenku. I just kind of sit down. Are you at the bar or
I'm
table?
at a table and
Okay.
I'm like pecking at my
Okay.
food.
I kind of put one hand on the table and kind of lean, and I'm like, just like this. I'm like,
Hey, didn't I see you a while back? You were in the kennel, right?
I don't know if you like recognize me. I'm kind of a big deal there, you know. Wink.
Make a history check.
Okay. That is gonna be 13.
From your, you don't recognize this person, but you had heard tales back in the kennel, back in Worthank,
Okay.
about a purple tiefling who just sort of fucked everything up for everyone.
Make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Like, this is from guards for the most part that you're hearing.
Okay.
Lion Knights.
It's just cool to see somebody else like this far out.
Yeah.
Like I haven't heard about anybody getting out of the kennel, you know, like except me. So that's cool.
gesturing, and then I'm gonna in a like and a voice that she actually might recognize. I'm gonna go, cat talk, fuckface.
Cool. Finn has no idea what to do.
Cool. So while this awkward encounter is happening, Nathaniel, you've made your way sort of to the door, and you're peeking out, and you see him. Are you like following him out the door?
Yeah, I'm being nonchalant.
Cool. Yeah, you're leaving. As you leave, you see him. He is heading pretty much straight forward. There's a road that leads basically due west of the town. And you sort of look after him. It's pretty empty here. It's a small backwoods town even before it became the outskirts of a vampire war. Like, even in its most thriving of times, this was Hicksville, Nildor. You know pretty well that like northern Nildor is where like the Elven Kingdom pretty much lies, and then southern Nildor is everybody else. So you see him going down. It would, at this point, probably be, you probably have to wait for him to go a little farther for you to follow him without being noticed, because there's not a lot of people out and about right now.
Yeah, okay, I just like lean up against the side of the building, like pick like my nail with like a dagger.
Cool.
Just wait until it's appropriate distance. And keep going.
Cool. As you're waiting, you see three figures walking towards the inn. Two big, muscle-clad, sort of scarred, mercenary-looking half-orcs are flanking a small, portly halfling man with just big, beefy red sideburns. He's like dressed in very fine clothing, like a fur cape that is like dragging on the ground. He keeps like trying to pull it up, and he's just mumbling to himself. And as he comes to the inn, he goes, You look like you're good at fighting. Please, inside." And then he just sort of goes into the inn and is flanked by these two sort of like big buff dudes who give you a look and then walk in.
Is there a window?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just look through the window.
So the rest of you...
So I have my eye still on.
This motley crew walks in. And as they do, they go,
Did you know I'm looking for mercenaries to do a job for me? I've been told that you go to inns to find this sort of work. So here I am.
It's very meta. Well, you've come to the right place. Thuvius Amaz at your service. I'm gonna like prestidigitate a little fire. You know, I'm a wizard, right?
A wizard? All right. Your skills could be useful. I have a name. And it is Ekbard Lindley. Yes, the Ekbard Lindley. Fucking nothing. None of you have heard of this guy.
Is it like me introducing myself?
Yeah, pretty much. Though, like, your last name means something. His does not.
These are my hired help, Hal and Jonah. Introduce yourselves, boys.
And they just sort of like, they like the straight boy, like, head nod. At you.
What the hell?
You know the one.
I know exactly the one.
I have a problem. My mother is from this godforsaken town, and she passed away some time ago. I, of course, as a young boy, moved out west to the Bergen Coalition to build my fortune, as I'm sure you've heard. And when she died, I've come back to pay my respects, only to find her grave has been robbed, and a very valuable necklace I sent to her has been stolen. So I am looking for someone, or some people, to find the necklace, find who robbed my mother's grave, and bring them all back to me. I'm willing to pay a handsome sum of 500 gold.
I'm in.
And you are?
Oh, I'm Finn. And he does stick out his tongue.
Good, I suppose. There was a big strong man outside. Do you know who that is?
Nah, I'm all you need.
What do you do?
Oh, and let's see what I do. I'm going to cast, are there candles in this?
Unlit candles, yeah.
Alright.
Game changer.
No, then I'm gonna use thaumaturgy and make all the windows burst open.
The wooden window frame just slams you right in the temple.
Ew, another magic user.
Yeah. Oh, I also have a little crystal around my neck that like glows when I do that.
Interesting. Well, 2 magic users is great, but I think I'll need some brawn in this situation as well.
It's nothing. It's
Yeah.
nothing.
Can I look out the now open window?
I'm still not looking. I'm still watching the Minotaur as.
He's
Wait, yeah.
he's like leaving your sight at this point.
Yeah. Count me in, Ickbard.
And you are?
Ickbard.
And you are Muscle Man?
Sure.
I like it. Is that it? 500 gold split 3 ways? All right.
Not very muscular. Wait, it's not 500 each?
Do I look like I'm made of money?
You just said you made a fortune.
Oh, I'm sorry, are you in?
I'm a little short on cash at the moment.
500 gold is quite a bit of money.
We each get. I'm intelligent, I should know that.
500 split by 5?
He hasn't joined. Have you said me?
I guess it's just a matter of how much your mom means to you, man.
Is
There's
that
nothing.
a
It's only-
threat?
No.
Didn't you say she was already dead?
She's dead.
Meant to you.
Guys, I swear I'm really charismatic.
Fine, I'll make it 550.
I'm interested.
Sure.
I'm gonna.
So the 4 of you?
I'm gonna flip my scimitar up in the air and stick it in the table and sort of tilt my head.
What is that? What is that?
I think it might be 550 split 5 ways.
Well, is that fine?
Yeah.
Good. Now, Innkeep.
And Greg sort of just stumbles over. Oh yes, of course, sir, Mr. Lindley.
Is this the only inn here? It's frankly gross. Are there other inns in town?
He goes, the Feathers Down is the finest establishment in Bizzleben, and it's the only one.
Oh, well, I suppose I'll have to go find somewhere else. Jonah, you're with me. Hal, you stay here as a go-between. Tell me when you find the necklace. Ugh.
And he just sort of starts walking out, and the 2 half-orcs stick behind for a minute and sort of whisper. One of them, the one sitting behind, Hal, whispers something into Jonah's ear. Jonah sort of just nods his head and follows after Eckbert.
The second that happens, I say, all right, team, I already have a lead. See if you can keep up. And I start jogging.
He's already outside just running.
I'm just gonna burst after him a little sprint.
The rest of you following?
Yeah.
As we run, can I breathily be like, your names?
I've rolled up my sleeves, and when I do that, you see dragon scales on my forearms.
Fucking lit, dude.
And he tries to make it like not a big deal, but it's a big deal.
So, I'm Finn.
Thuvius.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Do we see him again since he's already running?
You're running. You manage to catch up with him as he is winding. There's small like shacks dotted along this road. Yeah, I'll give you guys a layout of business. So this is the inn where you were.
Yeah.
This is the road you're going down. There's sort of like shacks around. You pass sort of by sort of a town square area where it looks like several vendors are starting to sort of set up their wares, like a butcher and a vegetable seller. There, you see that there's other roads leading away, but he is going down this road. I wonder where it leads.
Okay, once we got eyes, I immediately stopped running and put my arms out.
Does somebody get
Yeah, Thuvius gets fucking decked.
Name's Nathaniel. Call me Nate.
Nice to meet you, Nate. Thuvius Amaz.
Charmed.
Finn!
Once again.
I haven't been running. I'm just sort of hands in my pocket, show myself in the sun, and maybe a few minutes later I get there. Oh, sorry. Were you waiting for me?
No.
Bird.
Cool. Okay.
What race are you? Okay, that's it.
So what we have right now, my god, Baronius, he sent me a mission. He sent me a target. It's that target. We're going to watch him, observe him, see what is happening, and then we'll strike. And I start walking.
Should we check the grave
The Minotaur?
first?
Well, if there's been a grave robbery, the grave keeper, perhaps the best place to start.
Saw him in a dream. Sacrifice, nasty business.
Hold on a minute.
Hold up a minute.
As did I.
As did I.
Do we all worship Baronius?
No!
Didn't think I was worshipping any gods.
But he knows a good team when he sees one. Okay.
Does he?
What about you? The guy who came as a go-between.
No, he's in the inn. He's
Oh,
in
he's in the inn?
the
Oh, I know.
God's voice says, yeah, I mean, I planned this.
Okay, cool. Okay,
So, what's your plan? Just watch him?
we're gonna set up a perimeter. You seem small. Can you hide well?
I'm not that small.
The
Yeah.
smallest.
Okay.
Stealth and trickery happen to be my specialty.
Okay, you two, see if you can get closer. Not too close. 3 of us. I'm looking at the graveyard. We're gonna do a triangle formation. One's gonna take the back. The other 2 are gonna be on either side, watching the entrance. Okay?
I'll take the back.
Or dog can handle it.
I don't know. Could we maybe do this after sundown? It's very bright and I have quite the headache.
Well, I'm sorry. Is this an inconvenience to you?
Frankly, it is. Yes.
What would you say if I said you can have my cut?
Just your 110 gold cut.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, I'll do it.
Okay. Will the sun impede you in this little investigation, or do you need a hat?
I mean, I have a hood. It's not very effective. The sun will impede me, yes.
Glasses.
Whatever you think.
Mask.
I'll try it out. But
Well, I don't have those things. I'm just asking for you.
Wait, don't you have a funny hat?
Oh, indeed.
Can you, like, loan it to him or something?
Would you like my hat for the moment? It's a big, goofy looking, like, stereotypical wizard hat. Like,
What?
don't encourage him.
I'm trying to help you out, man.
You got a good mind, kid.
Thank you.
Army.
Wait, is the 110 gold still on table?
perhaps I could, and I just minor illusion, like, a shadow, but just only over you.
That.
Doesn't really affect your sensible sensitivity at all. But you look like you're in shadow now.
Is that better?
Honestly, no. But,
Spell it.
Okay, team has a good idea. Move out.
Wait, so are you going with the hat? Or no?
I'm not wearing that hat.
Okay.
So,
It's covered in silver locks.
Okay, so he is at this point gone into the graveyard. What's the plan?
Okay, what's the
Okay,
plan,
so what
coach?
I'm taking the front.
Can I move up?
He's taking the front point.
Yeah.
Okay, team. So what I am thinking.
Make sure you're on camera.
Okay.
Cameras.
Your head's not in shot.
I will be here. You. Bird. You will be here. I want you. Go around. Maybe hop a fence. Get around over here. You see?
Okay.
Where I'm pointing? Off the map.
The map that we don't have.
This has been drawn in the sand at this point.
Drawn in the dirt. You two, my sneakers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like that enthusiasm.
Of course.
Okay, you're gonna get in close. He's gonna be in
But
this
I'm gonna
area.
sneak one, number 1. We gotta tell the difference, right?
I like the initiative, yeah.
Thank
Sorry about it. Okay. Use the graze. Get as close as you can, but not too close. If you're in trouble, holler. We will do a pincer move attack to get you.
So,
I start
I
going.
don't have this question, but I heard this guy whispering that he has a question. So are we attacking the thing?
I didn't whisper.
Or
anything.
yeah, he did. It's fine. But in case anybody else missed the memo, are we attacking this guy? Are we just watching him? No, it's cool. Don't be embarrassed.
Okay.
Was
Sunlight guy.
good?
Yes. It's called reconnaissance. We are going to move in, see what he does. They hopefully will be able to listen to what he does. And if they see a threat, you too. I'm gonna need good initiative on you guys. If you think something is up, start
I'll
hollering.
send you a message.
I like it.
Couldn't
But-
we simply ask him what he's doing? You seem to be a military man, and I know sometimes you military types don't like to talk things out. So I'm simply... You're not liking where I'm going. I can see it in your face.
No. I like the speech. Yeah.
I don't
So what I think is we're gonna do my plan. But then,
Alright.
if
Alright.
the reconnaissance doesn't reveal anything,
Okay.
then you can knock on his door, ask for a pie. We'll see.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. Hope it's apple. I start going. As he walks away, he's like,
Okay, incredible. So the three of you get to you just go to your positions.
Yeah.
The two of you, I need you to make stealth checks.
Sick burn.
Open apple.
18.
9.
That's
We
not
got the
good.
Sneaker number 1.
It's really
So yeah,
really
Finn very quietly sort of like falls into a crouch and starts like walking. And Thuvius like tries to fall into a crouch, but the hat just goes over your head and you fucking like trip and stumble. Like, ow! Luckily for you, there is no sign of this Minotaur in the graveyard. You see that there is a shack in this graveyard. That's probably where he lives, and you can make the assumption that he has gone in there. But your noisiness doesn't seem to alert anything, as the lights are off, curtains are drawn. But you are in fact in the graveyard. So what do you want to investigate? I should put on some spooky music.
I like this.
Yeah, I was just saying this. That was fitting. It's like fun shenanigan music.
Thanks, Kevin McLeod, my dad. My two dads, Kevin McLeod and Skeletor. Don't give me that look,
Sure.
Winfield.
So it's just like a shack in the middle.
I'm just gonna stand up and like stop stealthing if there's nothing around here. Just kind of look. I don't think there's anything here. I think we're fine.
Are you saying this?
Yes, like, out loud. Like, looking around, like it's like a big. How big is this graveyard?
It's pretty sizable.
like this guy. You couldn't hear me from inside the shack where I'm standing.
If you yelled, probably, but
Right, okay, but
the
I'm
shack's like out in the back
Right,
corner
yeah, like, I'm just
of
kinda-
the cemetery. It's closest to, I would say, because you went to the back, right?
I went wherever he told me to.
Yeah, you went to the back. So
Wait,
you're
wait,
closest to the shack,
Okay.
and it's a ways out. Like it's
Can
a pretty
can
sizable
can
cemetery
I,
for the
like,
size of the
see
town.
these- How far is?
How far are you guys?
Um,
Are you hiding? Or are you just standing?
no, I'm just like leaning inconspicuously against like the wall.
Is he within 120 feet of me?
Yeah, I'd say he's within 100.
Okay, I'm gonna message back. No sign of the Minotaur. Cast message.
Sure.
You just hear it, I think.
I do like a this, and then I look over. Can I see?
You can
Bird.
reply.
Yeah, I think.
I can reply.
It has to be like a short sentence.
I hear you.
Yeah, I think we're across
Yeah.
the way from each other.
Yeah, you're both
Still, like,
very inconspicuously
crouching.
leaning against the walls of a graveyard.
Luckily, your reconnaissance is also completely standing up in a graveyard.
I like to imagine you're on the other side, just fucking sitting down.
I don't think you have to be sneaking. I think we could just. It's just a graveyard. I'm sure people come through here. And...
Yeah.
Right. It's not off limits.
So I'm gonna veer off and just start looking for the grave
Cool.
of Lindley.
Yeah.
Lindley. Yeah.
Make an investigation check, please.
I'm gonna head a little closer towards the house.
9.
Okay. 9. A lot of these gravestones are pretty like weather beaten,
Okay.
and they're hard to make out. So you're looking around. You find 3 open graves. It's hard to tell if they are freshly dug or have been
Alright.
redug.
Okay.
Which would also really be freshly dug if you think about it. Cool. So you head over towards.
I'm gonna just head towards this shack.
Cool.
What am I seeing? Like, how big is it?
It looks to be like it's probably the size of this room, the whole shack.
Okay, so it's pretty small.
It's modest, yeah. It probably fits a bed, and that's it. Like, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna message to you. Do you see anything?
I like got dagger up. No. Wait, am I thinking it?
Do you say it out loud?
I do.
It's like a whisper. Supposedly, you have there's a verbal component.
Oh.
Like, you have to whisper
Yeah.
what you want to say, and then
I
it
don't
just
know much
travels
about-
120 feet.
Yeah, I feel like in
Okay.
character you might not know about it.
Yeah, I
either,
don't.
so.
Yeah. That's what. No.
No sign of movement from the. Can I just keep? It's a cantrip. Right?
You can keep casting it,
Yeah.
yeah.
No sign of movement here. And if you look, I'm just standing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you guys really aren't that far.
Yeah, I look. Oh, okay. God.
At this point, the two of you see a younger, half-elven woman walking towards the graveyard, and she's carrying flowers in a basket. She walks up, she gives you sort of like a look. Good day. And then walks into the graveyard. So you see this. No, this is just a. Seems to just be a townsperson. She walks into the graveyard, and she sees both of you just sort of gesturing at each other. Hi.
Hello.
Sorry if I'm interrupting something. Huh?
How pretty is she?
She is like probably around your age. She's like comely.
Wait, my age?
How old are you?
I'm 14.
She's a little. Yeah, she's around your age. Yeah,
Okay.
she's like a child. She's like comely. She's probably pretty for the village. She's like, sorry if I'm interrupting something. I just wanted to put some flowers on my grandpa's grave.
Oh, go right ahead.
Okay. What brings you guys here?
An investigation.
Oh, are you looking? Is it which one? Because there's the witch, and then there's the vanguard soldier, and then there's the grave robberies.
The third.
Oh, okay.
Might you know which graves were?
I don't know off the top of my head. A lot. It's been like 3 in the past month, and the neighboring towns have been having the
Is it
same.
the ones we're standing by? There's 3 freshly done.
I didn't think that went through. Yeah, probably.
Do you come around here often?
Yeah,
Not like that.
every morning to like
So,
what?
No. So I mean, like, would you know where a Lindley? Lindley? Is?
There was an old lady Lindley used to live here.
Mhm.
I don't really know where she was buried. She died like a couple years ago.
Okay. You don't know where her grave is? What's the system? Is like alphabetical?
It's just sort of where you put dead people. So
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, you'd have to ask the gravekeeper.
Right.
But I mean, I know it's not that one. And she points at one of them. That was.
Is that your?
No, my grandpa, his grave hasn't been robbed.
Oh.
But we didn't have anything valuable, so I don't know why they would rob it. Okay. Just gonna walk over to a grave.
Okay.
Put some flowers on it. You guys should be careful though. Sorry, I just remembered because my dad says that the person taking all the bodies is a dark, evil wizard who lives in the swamp. So maybe he might get mad if you do this. It could also might be the witch who just came into town, but she seems kind of nice. But my dad says not to trust her.
Thank you.
Okay. She looks just like starved for companionship. She's like probably the only person her age in this town at the moment. So she just keeps like sort of turning around, interrupting herself, and like saying stuff to you.
While I'm waiting, can I just do a divine sense?
Yep.
Look,
What's the range on that?
It's about like 60 feet.
60 feet. Within 60 feet of you, what are you? There's no undead
Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah.
or
Fiends.
fae or no undead or
So,
fiends
yeah.
or celestials.
Yeah.
None.
Okay.
Well, you get a bit of a fiendish scent off of Finn. But
Cool.
yeah, seems to just be a graveyard.
So, what do you have? Approach the graves you're looking at.
There's 2. Yeah, the one was pointed out to you is not the right one, so you've narrowed it to 2. You can make an investigation check if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see anything because the girl showed up. It wasn't like because of the girl, but like I'm just saying like she showed up. So like yeah,
What's investigation?
and it's like
No, it's int. 19.
nice.
19. Yeah, you sort of get up and close, and you can make out Lindley on one of the. It's like very warm, but it's there.
This one.
Nice.
So this grave has been robbed. Is it? Hang on. Is it filled in?
No.
It's just open. Is there a body?
No corpse.
Lindley told us a pendant
Necklace.
necklace was stolen. Why'd they take the body?
And did he mention the body?
I don't think he cares about the body.
I feel like, hey, oh my gosh, my mom's grave got robbed and a necklace was stolen. Little less important than, oh my gosh, my mom's body is gone.
I mean, perhaps his beliefs are that the body and the soul are separate, and the
Oh,
body
okay.
doesn't. But why did the grave robber take the body?
Whoa, there could be some gross shit happening.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
Well, there's vampires around here, so maybe that's it. That's what old man McGillicuddy says. He says.
McGillicuddy?
Don't write that down.
This is gonna be important.
That's the big bad right there.
I didn't know you just moved to this area, but there's like a chain of bars called McGillicuddy's around here.
Sponsor us, baby.
Where do we live?
That was the
Sorry,
hunt.
they're gonna dox us again.
Yeah, Old Man McGillicuddy says the vampires are probably doing it because they need more bodies for their war.
Ooh.
So we gotta stay here until night and then see a vampire. Right, don't tell the others. We'll keep this between us. We'll be victorious. It'll just be between you and me.
I want the muscular one. You know, in the event of a fight.
Yeah.
You and I are spellcasters. You know, we need someone on the front lines.
I've got other skills. Vampire.
Vampires. We're taking really diligent notes here.
Okay. What if? How far away are they from us?
Within 120 feet.
Okay. Should we wave them over?
I can call them in.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Oh right.
To you, to I guess to all three of you, one after another. Coast is clear. Starting with you.
Okay. I look over to Bird. I kind of like do like a cool vault.
A what?
Like a vault, like, you know, like leaning against the wall.
Oh.
Athletics.
Cool guy.
What kind of armor are you wearing?
Splint.
24.
Boom! It's cool as hell.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
See, that's
sort
why
of-
we need him.
I'm just gonna loop back around and go through the main entrance.
Okay. So there's vampires coming tonight.
Are you staying outside or did you come back in?
I'm standing behind a big tombstone waiting for something to happen or something. Let me know.
Come get you.
Did you message me?
Yeah, I messaged
Okay.
all three of you.
Oh.
You can still just not.
Now,
Thuvius is really not the point man you want.
I can walk in for